I said in a previous interview that Duann Kier was the founder of Metaphysical Mississippi, and she started the meetups. And I would just mark it on my calendar. I was looking back at my notes. The first meetup was in September 2017, and I think the first meetup I went to was November 2017 because I have a journal entry about it. Actually, Joy Flow Yoga is where I first came across Duann Kier's name. One summer, and I think it was 2016 or 2015, I did yoga there in between, the summer between the two school years. I was a preschool teacher then. And I came across Duann's information and knew that I kind of would like to meet her one day. How I heard about Metaphysical Mississippi was through Rainbow Co-op when they were still open in the Fondren area.
Duann, they're not
I know
anymore.
But Duann had a flyer about Metaphysical Mississippi, and I recognized her name, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna do this. I was a little not scared, but intimidated or unsure. Not sure if I was ready to dip my toes into the whole metaphysical world. I mean, I was exploring. I was going down the rabbit holes of YouTube and Google and reading books, but I didn't know if I was ready to come out of the closet, so to speak. But she was having them at Antonelli College, and I figured it can't be that weird if Antonelli College is like.
Yes, I'm thinking. I mean, it can be just so. It is intimidating if you're kind of. I mean, just thinking of. Oh, I'm going to go in this room with people who have experience.
Especially if you don't know, like I didn't know who was going to be there.
And you're thinking, these people have all these wonderful giftings, and what do I have? You're thinking you're going to walk in and.
Or is everybody going to be in monk suits, like with capes, and I'm just this regular housewife?
If they can sense things about you, what are they saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna be in a room.
Is everybody gonna be reading me?
Exactly.
And that's the point, you don't know. I was looking through my journal and saw Debbie Lewis from Joy Flow Yoga. And I also made a note that I met Karen Parker. And at the time, I think she was a Petrified Forest gift shop. And I'm sure I met other people that night, but those were the two names that I wrote in my journal. And so Debbie Lewis being my first, I'd taken yoga classes before at health clubs or something, or maybe there used to be that lady on public television that did the yoga. You remember the yoga?
Yes.
When we were kids. So, I knew about yoga through that. And, I had done yoga here and there at a gym, but Joy Flow Yoga was the first place I really explored yoga as a philosophy, as a way of life, not just stretching on the floor. So I had times where I would attend the meetings on a fairly regular basis, but then life would get busy, and there were times where it may be 6 months in between. And early on, the first couple of years, other than communicating through Facebook, I would occasionally attend events and participate in things at Soul Synergy and other places. But it was really probably my second year, I guess, of being involved with Metaphysical Mississippi that I really started being more active and involved and started making the connections and the relationships with them. And it was through studying Reiki, through that, and the people I met through that really is when I even got more involved with Metaphysical Mississippi. So in the beginning, the way Duann held the meetings was she would talk about announcements and what was going on in the community, and then we would have a discussion question. Then 2020 came, And she was not sure where Metaphysical Mississippi was going to go next, what her role with it would be, especially as she was feeling led and called to working on some other projects. And like many things, Metaphysical Mississippi got put on hold for a little while. And you know what? I think that was actually, I know I've talked to a lot of people. Look, I know the whole COVID thing's been hard, but it did give everyone and everything an opportunity to have a reboot and to reevaluate where we're going and where we've been and where we are at the moment. And so Duann sat with that for a while. And as she began to feel a stronger pull to some new directions on her path, it was time for her to pass that on to someone else, and asked me if I would be interested. And I thought about it. The answer was yes. So when Duann did turn over Metaphysical Mississippi to me, she made it clear that she had no expectations of what happened to it from then on. She did love it, and she wanted to see it grow and evolve. She has been nothing but supportive and gracious, and I tried to respect her need to step back by letting the decisions unfold for myself without having to.
You didn't want to, hey, you give me, you wanted to release her from the need to be an advisor all the time.
Yes.
Not that she was probably happy to give you advice, but her time was
needed elsewhere.
Else. Yeah.
Right. And so this was a bigger job than I thought it was. And it did take me a while to get my footing. You know, I still had family obligations and responsibilities. And as I was transitioning into who I am becoming as an empty nester now, needing to find my place with all that. So I've had ideas and I've had things I wanted to do, and I've had many suggestions by many wonderful people. And not only have I had just ideas given to me from other people, but I've had many people come alongside me. It was several months after I took ownership of Metaphysical Mississippi before we started having meetups again. And there was a few months where because y'all know COVID has spiked, and then things would get better and spike again. So I started having the meetups again, I think February or March of 2021. So it was almost a year of no meetups. I've been doing the meetups for over a year, and it's really taken a year for me to get to where I have a clearer vision of where I think the meetups are going. They're not different. It's just over the past year, I've been tweaking how we do the meetups
or see what is needed.
Right.
Well, not what you think's needed, but to get feedback from what is the community, you know.
Right.
What do they enjoy partaking in? Because I know the meetups are for the community.
Because the people who know me well, I will have a little agenda, plan the meetup. But once I get there, it's whoever I read the room. Basically, I'll let it go where it needs to go. But so I've played around with it. I've let it have some wiggle room. I've tried some different things, different formats. Sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't. And I always like to stay fluid and flexible for how it's going to work. I'm really enjoying moving the meetups around to different venues. In the past, we've met, Duann first started it, I'm trying to remember all the places, Antonelli College, and then we met at Soul Synergy for a while. We've met at Eco Shed, which is in the Fondren area. We've met at Whole Foods. We've met at libraries, art galleries. Paysetter Gallery. And so we've met at Jack Zen, which is in the Midtown area, back behind Millsaps. Let me talk about a little bit where we are right now. This is
Sure.
my office at Holistic Health and Healing. I will probably have a meetup here, but we have yoga classes on Wednesday evening, so I haven't wanted to boot them out, but we'll have a meetup here eventually. And so now how we're doing it now is, like I said, I'm focusing on moving the meetups around to the broader community, offering other people or businesses in the community to host the meetups. And
when you say that, are you saying businesses that may not be a metaphysical type business?
I'm very appreciative of the people who have offered for us to use their space. They don't necessarily have to be metaphysical. The way I'm doing that so far is since we've just started the moving around to different businesses, when a new venue hosts, I offer for them to be the feature presentation.
But if they want to open their space and not really have to share,
they don't have to.
Okay, well, you'll find
as many of y'all know, there are so many topics in the metaphysical world. Now I'm offering for the first time venue hosts to introduce themselves and are entered and discuss what they do in their business, or to discuss what brought them to metaphysics and whatever modality or practice or ideology that is important to them. I will coordinate with them, collaborate, and we will come up with a topic to discuss. Now, the other thing I'm thinking of doing is, as we have repeat venue hosts, or when we meet at places like the library or just a public place, like I said, there are so many topics to discuss, so many modalities that a lot of us would like to learn more about, but we have so many people in our community who have a wide variety of interests. So I am very open to allowing some of our members or attendees to share their experiences or share some of the concepts that they've been working on or exploring. We do meet the second Wednesday of every month. 6:30 to 7 is our meet and greet time, and then 7 to 8:30 is the meeting itself. We have a featured spotlight who will be a member of the community or myself, either talking about a business or a person or a modality or a metaphysical topic. And then I always like to then segue that into a discussion question that we open up for the attendees to participate in also. Then the last part of the meeting is usually used as a time to share announcements and things that are going on in the community. That's also when we allow new people to introduce themselves, or some of our members who have been attending, if they want to tell a little bit about their journey. If we, time permitting, we allow that. Offer the opportunity for people to introduce themselves, and and they get that opportunity if you come before 7 o'clock. But I don't want to ever put somebody on the spot to feel like they have to speak up. And I think, though, if you are nervous and intimidated about it, it is such a welcoming, warm environment that any fear or misgivings you have about just saying your name, that's you're gonna feel better. But I never want anybody to feel like they have to say anything. If you need to find out where the meeting is going to be or have any questions about Metaphysical Mississippi, you can email us at metaphysicalms@gmail.com or visit our website at metaphysicalms.com.